All right, party people, all right, party people, loved ones. This is the moment we all been waiting for. You know, the moment when a brother from the hood gets himself independent to the point to where you can start living your dreams out. And this is where I'm at right now. And I'm so happy and I'm grateful that I was spared this opportunity in this moment to be able to do this. So I'm gonna do the best I can, okay? Now I know it's gonna call for a whole lot of chopping it up, a whole lot of game spitting, but at the same time, a realism and basically keeping it real. Okay, so we got a lot of things going on, and every single day it seems like things is getting worse, more dramatic, more extreme. Um, we just had a mass shooting with this guy just recently. Now, I normally don't try to date material and stuff like that because you do be conscious and you want something that's constantly stay relevant. But let's talk about this recent mass shooting. Okay, this guy drove somewhere in New York or whatever to a community of all black people, wrote the N-word on his gun, and massacred a whole lot of people in the store. It's not the first time this has happened. Now, prior to this, we just had something happen in California where there was multiple people shot at this event in the evening. They called and coined it a mass shooting. However, when it came down to it, it was multiple people. It was primarily a shootout. It wasn't someone targeting someone to just massacre everybody. It was multiple shooters, multiple people shooting at each other. But because they were black, they wanted to make sure that this mass shooting thing is universally accepted as something that everybody do. And so every time brothers get involved in anything or any problems or any issues, and the way we looked up on, it's gonna always be coined something different. Just like right now, burglaries are called robberies. Car burglaries are called robberies. Everything is called a robbery. I was robbed. How was you robbed? Oh, what happened? They broke in my car. Okay, that's an auto burglary. That's not a robbery. But the language is being used in order to, partner it up as everybody does this. Everybody's doing it the same way. It's just like when we talk about oppression. Mankind been doing this to mankind since the beginning. No, there's a certain group of people in recent history, which means in the last 1,000 years, who have primarily mastered the art of genocide on other people. And so we're living in a time right now where a lot of our people have taken on the attributes to try to be these warmongers, or want to be seen as these killers and all this stuff. And it's working because with a little propaganda and a little self-attesting, oh, I'm a killer, I'm this and I'm that, you are attesting to it. You're confessing with your mouth that that's what you are. So when something occurs, even though it doesn't necessarily fit the criteria of a massive, bigger plan to execute and exterminate people, now you are going to get fit into that category. Case in point, we have some brothers facing the R.I.C.O Act, Young Thug and his friends and stuff like that. Well, they've been coined as a criminal enterprise. Now we're gonna go back to the guy who shot these black people, but let's see how we fit into this scheme. So if you not paying attention to how you fit into the scheme, then you're going to constantly look and be able to fault other people. So we got to find a way to stop attesting to being these type of people. Once again, we're going to have to try to find a way to coin ourselves as loving, caring, humanitarian people, because we can't just live off of this. I'm a thug. I'm a heartless thug. I'm a murderer. I put a hole in your chest. It's funny to a certain degree, but when they come in and you become the victim because you've self-attested to these behaviors, then you want to cry, and then you want mercy, then you want to go home to your family and all these things. Now we go back to the sadisticness and the behavior of a certain group of people who will do this. Now, how do you think of a specific place hours away from your home to go and target these people? How did you even pick this spot? So you got to ask yourself, how did these people pick us? How are these people selecting us? What is making us be the focus? Not as a blame, but it ain't nothing you doing. I mean, how could you have picked someone in a grocery store? What could somebody have done? A whole group of people in a grocery store, what could they have done to make them become a target? Nothing, right? So it shows the sadisticness of this behavior. And it doesn't match a mass shooting that happened in Sacramento where people are mad at each other, maybe intoxicated, and everybody starts shooting at each other. That's totally different. So we got people out here that have taken it up on themselves to feel like this is the time to make that happen towards us. Shout out to all the people that have been going out of their way to make sure and put their whole everything on the line to show the indisputable truth, like brother Dr. Richie. He has a show that he shows over and over and over the indisputable truth about some of the injustices on a state-sanctioned level, which means that hired people, which are getting substantial paychecks. A lot of these people don't know. Police officers make sometimes upward of $100,000 to $200,000 a year. You're looking at this black uniform as if it's just drab and just a community service. But a lot of these dudes will come out and do this for free. They did it when they was being deputized for free. So what I'm saying is that we need more of us to not only be conscientious that you don't always get what you deserve. You don't always get the retribution that you are called out to get. Ain't no way in the world that you in the grocery store shopping, or you in the church praying, and that's what you were supposed to get. You got that because you deserved it. You did something to call that. Nah, this is seditiousness, something that is targeted in the hearts and spirits of somebody. Now, even when it comes to a societal standpoint, well, if you wouldn't do this, you wouldn't get this. We don't do all the crime in this country, okay? So we don't, when they say inequality, doesn't mean that everybody gets what they pay for. It means that there's people that's not getting served that do just in crime. They're not getting their justice served to them the same way. Because black people, Hispanics, different people are not the only people committing crimes in this country, okay? So the question is that we're the only ones getting coined as the criminals. We're the only ones. Now, another thing I want to touch on. The guy that got this lady, the two racist supremacists, not one. They got this lady pointing her. She got the racist supremacist out of jail. She was with him for 2 years. She was a supremacist too. She's a white supremacist too. I mean, she was in love with the dude. He said it was his wife, and she got this guy out of jail. A murderer, already convicted, supposedly. They couldn't find him for 9 days? Why? Why couldn't they find them, right? They couldn't find them for 9 days because they don't stop every white person. They never gonna go out there and stop every person, every car with two white people in the car, because they're not going to put them under that kind of scrutiny. If it's two black people, a male and a female, they're gonna be like, well, you understand, we looking for, who we looking for, right? Unless you've been under a rock, we're looking for a black Bonnie and Clyde. You feel me? They would have stopped every car with two black people in it, a male and a female, boom, it didn't care. These people was able to run and roll and buy cars and get motels for 9 days with the whole world in the United States looking for them. So they're never going to be looked up on with the same criminality, no matter how far they go. So this is what I want to say. At some point, man, we have to stop attesting to and thinking that it's tough and cool to attest to these same evils, like we making them scared. They're not really scared when they say they scared for their life. You think they really scared? You don't walk in front of no car and and then say you shot 19 times because you were scared. What you do is you run your ass on the curb because you scared of getting hit by a car. You wouldn't run on the freeway. They get in front of the car and then, oh, I'm threatening my life. Oh, I'm scared. I feared for my life. They're always scared because sometimes people that want to be tough want to be seen as fearful. And nobody really, if you think about it, nobody, and most of the people in our hip hop community, most of the people in our gang community, you don't see most of them accrediting themselves with massacring anybody in government, killing nobody in police officers. They're not killing military. They all talking about hurting civilians. They all talk about other civilians. Somebody that wouldn't go into their grandmama house and kick the door in. They don't confront nobody that'll kick their grandma door in. Other gang members 9 times out of 10 are not those people. They probably will say they are, and they say they will. They will, and some people will do certain, and that's bare minimum of black people that will come in and brutalize every single person in your family because they have a problem with you. That's what the police do, okay? If they got a problem with you, they're going to look at your grandmama house. They're going to search your grandma's house. They're going to flip her couches up. They're going to tear everybody's house up in your life until they find you because they want you to understand. That's what you got to understand, and that's what you expect. They're going to shoot flashbangs in the car with kids. They're going to do all this stuff. Nobody's safe. And if somebody harbors you or helps you, then they'll never say nothing good about that person. Like the lady that got that dude out of jail. So you got to understand these people are not always working alone. A lot of these people got parents as doctors, lawyers, people that you go get your teeth pulled, people that's sedating you, that's giving you medicine and things like that. We live in a society with a lot of these people, man. Look at how many of them came out during the Trump era. So all I'm saying is this. You're not getting what you deserve, and we're not getting our just due and justice, and we know this. But the least we can do is unify and stop trying to be seen as these sadistic people. Now, it's cool to be tough, and it's cool to be the kind of person that those type of people don't like. We get it. It's always been cool. That's why they say girls like the bad boys. They like a thug and this and this and this. Well, the reason why, everybody likes a person that the oppressor don't like. They always gonna be everybody like a bad boy. You think that being the oppressor, you can beat it out of the woman, beat this man's appeal out, but you can't, because the more you hate this man, the more the women and people that want to be strong want to love him. You feel me? Because they don't know, they can see why you hate him. Everybody can see why everybody hate the black man. It's obvious. He's talented, he's handsome, he's physical, he's, you know what I mean? Whether he's in his 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. We know, everybody know. The women know why you hate the black man. Then you get these jobs as a black man and you want to be stiff and see, I'm the kind of man you should like. Maybe so. Maybe you're not heartless. Maybe you're not out here claiming to be all that. But every brother that's disliked, that's called a nigga, because in my definition and ideology, being a nigga is just being the kind of black man a white man don't like. When everybody's a nigga because he don't like none of us. But the truth is, when you a nigga, that means I'ma get you, But you a boy, you a good boy. So some of y'all is boys. And you think that because you a good boy, that you should that the women should love you. People should admire you. But everybody, but it's a difference when you are a low down, dirty, no good nigga. And so a lot of times it's black people that's going to call you that. I'm sure they said that too back in the days. And the word is not good at all. But they called you that because they did not like you. And so when we take it as a badge of honor, like I'm the kind of nigga that white folks don't like, we can relate to each other like, yeah, that's something to kind of be proud of. And you know what I mean? Like, if you're going back into the historical factors of, oh, I would have been that kind of nigga that fought back. I would have been an escape person. But how do I know? Because look at me right now. I ain't scared of him now. I'm not abiding by his rules now. I'm still not being a good boy. So that's why people want to be a bad boy. You get it? And so they're going to always have their appeal. But there's a certain limit to how heartless we should represent ourselves. I don't think that being a bad boy is a bad thing as far as when it comes to standing up and not succumbing to oppression. But being a heartless person, especially towards civilians, when you know it don't really hurt the oppressor, because ain't nothing none of these cats talking about is towards the oppressor. And they've been saying this since the Black Panther. Ain't nobody talking about, I mean, Ice-T and Ice-T had cop killer. What they do? Make his punk ass a cop. I ain't calling the brother no punk. I'm just saying that's the way they looked at him. Like, we gonna call this nigga. We gonna show you that he's just an actor. He ain't no goddamn cop killer. He ain't no crip. He ain't no gangbanger. You feel me? He ain't really out here. This nigga gonna be he gonna make him a cop on TV since he wanna say he a cop killer. But they do the Ice Cube. Same thing. Fuck the police. Went and got Ice Cube, put him in Hollywood, show you this nigga's an actor. You feel me? This nigga's an actor. He ain't for real. So y'all gone with that cop killing shit. And ain't been really no real testament of that. Like, you know, like the uproar about that type of stuff since. Because they was actors. You know what I mean? To this day, I don't know what set Ice Cube used to claim, but he did the gangbang. I'm a gangbanger, and he had the black rag, and he put that out there. But I mean, he had Dub C, who was a Crip, and Mac 10, who was a Blood, and he perpetuated a gangbanging type of mentality. But he was an actor. He was an actor, and so they went and made him a police on TV. That's what they do to you. They put you into a wig. Look at what the part they made Snoop play. They made Snoop, I think he got his first part playing Huggy Bear, the biggest snitch in the whole history of television when in the 70s. Huggy Bear? The nigga that they used to pull into the alley and tell? Yeah, well, you got to pay your dues and show that you willing to embarrass yourself with certain characters and try to make it seem cool and slick, and that will make everybody else understand, nigga, you's an actor. You feel me? Now, that's why I don't really blame a lot of them dudes like Ice Cube. He's an actor. I don't blame Ice-T. You feel me? He was an actor. He played the part good. I was in the penitentiary listening to Ice Cube like, damn, if he ain't never been, how the hell he know about all this stuff? He was good. He did what he did. Snoop Dogg, hardest crip in the world on TV. Don't matter what his homies and everybody saying how much work he put in. He's a character. He's an actor. So I wouldn't be surprised if I see Snoop Dogg, 70 years old, still playing that character. He got rich from it. He played the character, but we know that his kids go to good schools. He has football games. He has two different lives. He's also Calvin Brodus, known in the business world. I bet you he walks in boardrooms and he carries himself and conducts himself in very upstanding way, or else he wouldn't be where he at. You hear me? That goes for T, Q, and Snoop. Just like seeing George Clinton with some rainbow hair right now. Would you say he looks like a clown? No, because you know why he doing it, because he had a whole career from it. So what I'm saying is that don't mean me and you gotta take this nigga's career and mimic the career 40 years later. You don't have to mimic George Clinton right now. You don't have to. No, if we see Bootsy Collins, and Bootsy Collins have a big ass hi-hat with some hey bubble bubble, I want you to do it with your bubble bubble. Now, you walk around acting like that shit right now, you would look stupid, right? But it wouldn't look stupid for Bootsy. Same thing with Snoop, Cube, Ice-T, and a lot of the gangster rappers. You don't have to try to live that life because you already know the ramifications of it. And you don't need to try to hard talk nobody else, because trust me, now people are starting to they starting to come and get y'all for this talk. Oh, that's one we can get. He said it here, and look, they using y'all records to come get you. You're not a mass shooter. You're not a murderer. You're not and even if you tripping and y'all fighting each other, killing each other, splitting each other wigs as we used to say or whatever. When we was talking about busting your head with a stick, y'all talking about splattering somebody's head, just walking up behind them and just killing them and blowing their brains out. But if you're saying that you will do these things, one day that shit might come to you in court, and it might be your demise. And now they making up state RICO cases. They done came and got marijuana from 20s from California for having a fucking YouTube channel. Ain't bothering nobody the first, right? The boy just having a YouTube channel, dude. They done came and got this brother, charged him with something somebody doing in their state. How is he responsible for their poverty and their shit that's going on? He ain't organizing shit. He on YouTube trying to make a little YouTube money from being a gang prevention person, being an official person, saying, hey, I come from where you come from. I'm official, and I could, and using it, trying to leverage his past. Boom, came and got the brother. You feel what I'm saying? So all I'm saying with this message is I'm gonna live my dreams. And even though I could any day come out being from LA, being an ex-gang member, being all, living in the trenches, traveling around the country, loving every ghetto I ever been in, yard to yard, spot to spot. I have my war stories, but I didn't want to be known by that, and I still don't prefer that to be my testament of what I'm about right now. That's a difference in storytelling about the past too, and saying this is who I am, this is what I'm about. Yeah. So I think that we got to start making a change and making it cool to not necessarily want to be seen in that. And I know young people, it's hard, man, because you want to be feared too. You want to put all the tattoos and, all these mean different things to make yourself look mean and, hardened. But really, it come to a point to where you just saying you don't really care about yourself. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and if you stop caring about yourself, then who gonna be there for us when we need you, So care a little bit about yourself, how you represent yourself. And if you're gonna do something, make sure you evaluate what you're gonna do and how you're gonna do it, and try your best never to include nobody that ain't in your shit. And if there's a chance that somebody might be involved that's not involved in your stuff that you got going on with somebody else, you gotta let it ride, man, because that's compassion. Ain't nothing wrong with being compassionate, because trust me, when you sit in front of those people, and every nigga, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna leave with this note, every single nigga that you see that got out from doing 25 years and he out here and man, I was on this yard and I was hard and I was this. Sit in front of a parole board and denounce that life, or else he wouldn't be out. He would not be out, man. You're not finna go in front of the board and say, I don't give a fuck. I'm a Crip for life. I'm gang banging. I'm a blood for life, nigga. I'm a GD and all this shit. Whatever you was 25, 30 years ago. If you got out and you were able to pop your collar and go back and go back to the hood, whether you trying to save lives or you back in the shit, in the trenches again, trying to get some rank off of the time and think the young people owe you something, nigga, they denounced that life. They just decided that now it's safe again. So don't think don't think you're by yourself if you start being humble and compassionate. Peace. I'm out. And don't get me started, man. Y'all done got me started All right, one love. Peace.